Chosen one, not everything that glows is gold. Not every light is guidance. Some are distractions dressed in radiance, beautiful illusions designed to pull you away from your path. What looks bright from a distance can lead you straight into shadows. The trap doesn't come wearing darkness. It comes wrapped in everything you've ever wanted. It speaks in flattery, promises ease, and offers shortcuts that cost your peace. The danger isn't always in what you fear. It's often in what looks too perfect, too timed, too easy. You've been warned before, but this time the message is different. The light you are drawn to might not be your calling, it might be your test. Before we go further, take a deep breath and stay with me until the end of this message. There is something powerful here that your spirit needs to hear fully. And while you're here, I want you to write your warmest wishes in the comments below and end them with 777. That number carries vibration. It symbolizes divine alignment and release. When you do this, you're not just typing words. You're sending energy, activating intention, and aligning yourself with the universe's frequency of manifestation. This small act is how you plant your light safely, away from false glows that seek to deceive. Now listen closely. The most dangerous traps do not look dangerous, they look desirable. They shine with familiarity, opportunity, and promise. They appeal to the part of you that wants answers now, that wants comfort after waiting too long, that wants recognition after being overlooked. These traps are not designed to destroy you outright. They are meant to delay you, to detour you, to drain your spirit slowly while convincing you that you are moving forward. They mimic progress while keeping you stagnant. They mimic truth while slowly eroding your discernment. The false light shows up as people who speak your language but do not share your soul. It appears as opportunities that flatter your ego but starve your purpose. It appears as sudden excitement that burns fast and fades quicker, leaving you emptier than before. These things are not coincidences. They are crafted distractions. The world knows your weaknesses and darkness studies your desires. The trap is not random, it is targeted. You must learn to see beyond appearance. Everything that shines is not sacred. Some lights are designed to blind you, to keep you from noticing that the path beneath your feet is cracking. Some doors open not because you're ready, but because something wants you to walk through before you're meant to. Discernment, not excitement, must guide you. Excitement will make you run toward what looks right. Discernment will make you pause and listen to what feels right. The truth is, not every good thing is a gift. Some good things are tests in disguise. Some are distractions sent to measure how easily you can be pulled from your mission. They come to see if you will chase the glow instead of guarding the flame. The difference between the two is subtle but critical. The glow is external. It depends on what's around you. The flame is internal. It burns no matter the environment. The trap always targets the glow chaser, never the flame keeper. You will notice that false lights always come with urgency. They pressure you to move fast, to decide now, to act before you think. They make you believe that if you hesitate, you'll miss something great, but the truth is, divine alignment never rushes you. Real opportunities bring peace, not panic. What comes from truth gives you time to breathe, to reflect, to feel. What comes from deception demands speed because it fears your discernment. And when the trap fails to lure you with brightness, it will shift tactics. It will attack your patience, making you question if you're being too cautious, too careful, too slow. It will whisper that your destiny is slipping away, that waiting is wasting time. But understand this, patience is not stagnation, it is protection. Every time you choose stillness over impulse, you starve deception. You make it impossible for false lights to guide your steps. Chosen one, the reason this warning finds you now is because you are close to something real, something bright that truly is meant for you. But right before the true light appears, counterfeit versions will rise to confuse you. The closer you are to your breakthrough, the more convincing the distractions become. They will look right, sound right, even feel right for a moment, but they will not last. They cannot. False lights burn fast because they have no source. They reflect rather than radiate. Pay attention to what drains you, even while it dazzles you. That's the sign. Real alignment energizes you. It leaves you feeling lighter, clearer, stronger. False alignment leaves you restless, confused, and doubting yourself afterward. When something comes from truth, your spirit expands. When it comes from deception, your energy collapses. That is how you know. The feeling never lies. Do not chase every glow that crosses your path. Some are meant to be observed, not followed. Not every invitation is an assignment. Some are detours that look like destiny. You must learn to recognize the difference between what looks good to your eyes and what feels right to your spirit. Your intuition knows before your logic does. When you feel a hesitation deep within you, even if everything looks perfect, trust it. That pause is not fear, it is guidance. The trap wants to be seen as a miracle. It will arrive at the perfect time, speaking the perfect words, offering the perfect solution. But if you look closely, you'll notice something missing. Peace. The atmosphere will shimmer, but your heart will feel unsettled. You'll sense the brightness, but not the warmth. It's a performance, not presence. The light is an imitation, not illumination. You must also understand that the trap often plays the long game. It's not always immediate. It builds slowly, feeding on your attention. It flatters your progress, then subtly shifts your priorities. You find yourself working hard, but feeling disconnected. You achieve more, but feel less fulfilled. This is the sign that something false is feeding on your focus. True alignment fuels your joy, even in hard work. False light feeds your pride, then drains your soul. Do not confuse opportunity with alignment. The world will offer many chances to rise, but not all rises lead upward. Some lift you only to drop you where it hurts most. The false light gives rewards without foundation, applause without meaning, movement without purpose. And when it fades, it leaves you questioning everything about yourself. That's how it wins. By making you doubt your intuition after you ignore it. This is why discernment is sacred. Discernment protects what excitement exposes. It keeps you grounded when the glow tries to blind you. It reminds you that peace is not found in the glitter of the moment, but in the glow of consistency. If you have to sacrifice your inner calm to keep something that looks bright, it was never light, it was illusion. Chosen one, your lesson now is not to reject every light, but to recognize its source. True light never competes, it simply is. It doesn't rush you, manipulate you, or demand constant validation. It is steady, pure, and familiar, like the warmth of dawn. You know it when you feel it because it aligns, not excites. The trap shines to distract. The truth glows to guide. The greatest deception of the false light is how good it feels at first. It mirrors the emotions of breakthrough, mimics the sensations of destiny, and flatters your hope. But true light does not fade when tested. It strengthens. The trap's brightness collapses when you question it. That's the test. The real remains under scrutiny. The false fades under truth. So learn to pause before you leap. Not everything that sparkles is for your hands. Not every path that glows leads forward. When you learn to value peace over spectacle, discernment over desire, and alignment over applause, the traps will lose their grip. The brightness that once fooled you will now expose itself in your presence. You will see through illusions not with sight, but with spirit. You were chosen not because you could avoid deception, but because you could see through it. That's your power, the ability to recognize light by its source, not its shine. So trust your stillness. Trust the pause. Trust the knowing that something can look divine and still not be meant for you. The trap needs your curiosity to survive. The truth only asks for your peace, and as you walk forward, remember, you are the light that cannot be imitated. The traps glow to distract you from your own radiance. But when you carry your light within, you no longer chase what sparkles, you illuminate what's real. The trap of false light begins with fascination. It draws you in not through force, but through desire. It knows what your heart longs for: peace, purpose, love, recognition, and it mirrors those things back at you. It studies the blueprint of your hope and designs its illusion around it. That is why it feels so convincing. The false light does not come to fight you. It comes to flatter you. It speaks the language of destiny while quietly leading you away from it. You think you are moving toward fulfillment, but you are slowly walking into emptiness disguised as opportunity. It begins subtly. A new door opens and everything about it seems perfect. It shines with promise, feels aligned, and offers everything you once prayed for. But underneath, something feels off, something you can't quite explain. That quiet discomfort in your chest, that hesitation you try to ignore, that's not doubt, it's discernment. The false light counts on you ignoring that feeling. It wants you to mistake emotional excitement for spiritual confirmation. It knows if it can rush you, it can blind you. And this is how most traps work, not by showing darkness, but by showing imitation light. They give you what you want before you are ready to handle it. They inflate your ego before your humility is strong enough to hold success. They give you attention before you are grounded enough to remain authentic. The false light always offers what seems like a shortcut, a blessing that arrives too quickly, a path that feels too smooth. But real alignment never bypasses process. Growth must be earned, not gifted. The trap looks bright because it wants you to forget that truth. You must learn to feel the difference between emotional brightness and divine illumination. One fades as soon as the feeling ends. The other deepens with time. The false light makes you restless, dependent, and uncertain without it. The true light brings peace that stays, even when everything else changes. False light demands your attention. True light asks for your trust. When you fall for false light, it doesn't always destroy you right away. It drains you quietly. It gives you temporary highs that mask long-term confusion. It keeps you busy but not productive. It keeps you surrounded but not connected. You find yourself performing rather than living, pretending rather than healing. It convinces you that because something looks right, it must be right. But the truth is, not everything that makes you feel good is good for you. Some things shine only long enough to lead you into shadows. The trap grows stronger when you start ignoring your inner signals. The signs are always there: the uneasiness, the sleeplessness, the quiet exhaustion that follows what once excited you. But you tell yourself you're just overthinking. You explain away the warning because you don't want to lose the glow. The false light counts on that. It feeds on your denial, gaining strength every time you silence your intuition. Discernment does not mean paranoia, it means peace. It means being able to stand still when something feels off, even if you can't yet explain why. It means choosing clarity over impulse. The false light loses its power the moment you stop chasing it, because once you stop moving toward it, you start noticing the cracks. You see how much effort it takes to keep it shining, how unnatural it feels to maintain. Real light sustains itself. It doesn't require performance to stay bright. You must remember, deception always mimics beauty. It knows that your spirit recognizes truth, so it cannot use darkness to trick you. It uses brilliance. It wraps itself in your dreams, your prayers, your expectations. That's why not everything that aligns is alignment. Some alignments are tests to see if you will choose validation over vision. The closer you get to your real breakthrough, the more counterfeit blessings will appear to distract you. The false light isn't only found in people or opportunities, it can live in ideas. It can be the voice that tells you to quit because rest feels easier. It can be the pride that tells you you've already done enough, so growth isn't necessary. It can even disguise itself as positivity, telling you everything is fine when your soul knows it isn't. This is the most dangerous trap of all: comfort. Because once you settle, you stop seeking truth. The path forward requires awareness. You must start examining what shines in your life. Does it give you peace or demand performance? Does it grow your faith or feed your fear? Does it bring balance or chaos? True light uplifts your energy. False light drains it while convincing you to smile through the exhaustion. One makes you stronger, the other makes you depend on it. The deeper lesson is this: not every glow is meant to be followed, and not every silence is darkness. Sometimes the real light hides in simplicity, in stillness, in the places that do not demand attention. The false light thrives in spectacle. The real light thrives in stability. The difference is subtle, but when you learn to listen to your energy, it becomes unmistakable. So when something glows too bright too soon, pause, observe. Ask your spirit if the peace remains when the excitement fades. The truth never rushes you. It does not demand belief. It reveals itself gently in time. Only illusions require urgency. The real never fears patience. The trap's greatest weakness is your awareness. Once you see it, it can no longer blind you. Its brightness cannot manipulate eyes that have learned to see with spirit. And that's why you are being called to look again, not at what glitters before you, but at what remains steady after the glow fades. The deeper you walk into awareness, the more you begin to realize that not all darkness hides in shadow. Some hides inside light that was never real. This is the stage where you start seeing with your spirit instead of your eyes. The false light no longer fools you with its glow because you've learnt that true illumination doesn't need to prove itself. It simply is. The more you awaken, the more you understand that discernment is not about judging appearances, it's about feeling energy. And once your spirit learns to feel truth, no illusion can deceive you for long. The trap begins to lose power the moment you stop needing external confirmation. When you stop chasing signs, applause, or approval, the false light dims. It feeds on your need for reassurance, your desire to be seen, your hunger to belong. But when you find contentment in quiet alignment, it has nothing left to offer you. The real light within you does not seek attention, it simply radiates. It glows from stability, not desperation. That glow cannot be imitated because it is born from authenticity. At this point, you start noticing how many bright things in your life were distractions disguised as blessings. You realize some connections were never genuine. They were attachments built on convenience. Some opportunities weren't destiny. They were detours that came to test your focus. And instead of feeling regret for being deceived, you feel gratitude for being awakened. Because every false light you survived sharpened your vision, strengthened your intuition, and prepared you to recognize the real one when it arrives. The traps you escaped became your training. You begin to protect your peace more fiercely, not out of fear, but out of reverence. You stop explaining your discernment to people who don't understand it. You stop forcing yourself to stay in spaces that no longer feel aligned just because they once shined. You stop running toward anything that promises instant results. The false light thrives on speed. Your strength lives in stillness. The slower you move, the clearer you see. The calmer you become, the more illusions reveal themselves. And soon you start to see how the world operates, how everything that glitters is designed to catch the eyes of those who have not yet learned to feel. Entire systems are built on distraction, on brightness, on noise. The louder something is, the more attention it steals. But true alignment is quiet. It whispers. It does not compete. It simply waits for you to tune your spirit back to the right frequency. When you do, you realize that real light never pulls you. It invites you. It never pressures you. It welcomes you. The transformation happening inside you now is not small. You are learning the sacred art of inner seeing. Your intuition sharpens. You feel vibrations before words are spoken. You sense intentions before actions unfold. You begin to notice when energy shifts around you, when smiles hide motives, when beauty conceals emptiness. It can be painful at first because once you see, you cannot unsee, but this sight is your protection. The pain of truth is better than the comfort of illusion. You will notice too that as your perception sharpens, certain people will no longer be able to hide their true energy around you. The ones who once appeared radiant will begin to flicker when faced with your calm awareness. The ones who spoke with light will stumble when you no longer absorb their charm. False lights cannot exist in the presence of someone who has learned to see clearly. Your very awareness exposes what once deceived you. This level of spiritual growth will test your restraint. You will be tempted to warn everyone, to expose every illusion, to tell others about every false glow you recognize. But part of maturity is understanding that not everyone is ready to see yet. Some still need to learn through experience, just as you did. Your job is not to fight every illusion. It's to embody truth so powerfully that illusion collapses in your presence. You become light that reveals, not light that argues. And as you grow more stable, you realize something extraordinary. The trap was never truly about deception. It was about initiation. You had to learn how to see without sight, how to trust without proof, how to walk through beauty without losing your depth. You had to learn that wisdom is not born in comfort, but in contrast. The false light existed to show you the difference between shining and glowing, between performance and presence, between attraction and alignment. Now you know the truth. The brightest things are not always the truest. And when you live from that awareness, no imitation can hold your gaze. You will walk through a world full of artificial brilliance and still recognize your own quiet glow as enough. You will no longer chase what glitters. You will become the steady flame that guides others out of their illusions. The false light was the test. Your awareness is the victory. As your awareness stabilizes, a quiet strength begins to rise within you. You no longer rush toward what glows, you observe it. You no longer react to appearances, you read the energy beneath them. You have entered a different dimension of discernment, one that cannot be faked. You are beginning to understand that true light does not demand your attention. It commands your respect. It does not compete with noise, it stands in silence, confident that those who are aligned will recognize it. This is the moment your spirit matures, when you stop confusing visibility with value. In this higher state, peace becomes your compass. You no longer chase what excites you. You follow what grounds you. You understand that anything that forces you to abandon your calm cannot be divine. False light may still approach, but it no longer deceives you because your inner stillness reveals its instability. What once fascinated you now feels heavy. What once dazzled you now feels hollow. You can sense the difference between truth and imitation instantly, not with your mind, but with your energy. This awareness does not come without cost. There is a loneliness that comes with clarity. When your spirit grows quiet, the world around you feels loud. You begin to drift away from the circles that thrive on spectacle, from the conversations that live on surface light. People may accuse you of becoming distant, but what they don't understand is that you are no longer drawn to noise that doesn't nourish you. You are not isolating, you are aligning. The silence you now crave is not emptiness, it is connection to something higher. In this silence, you begin to see the traps for what they are. Lessons. Every false light that once tricked you becomes a teacher. You start recognizing patterns. How flattery always comes before distraction, how urgency always masks deception, how the brightest illusions always appear before real breakthroughs. You no longer fear these moments, you study them. You watch how energy shifts when you stay calm, how illusions dissolve when you refuse to chase them. You realize that your peace is not passive, it is power. You are beginning to walk with the authority of awareness. You speak less but perceive more. You move slower but with deeper purpose. Your energy feels heavier now, not as burden but as presence. The false lights sense it too. They will approach but they will falter. They will sparkle in your direction but their glow will flicker under your gaze. The truth within you has become a mirror and anything false cannot stand reflected in it. From here, life itself changes tone. You start valuing simplicity. The small, quiet moments become sacred. You find joy in stillness, strength in patience, wisdom in restraint. The external world may still glitter, but your inner world has become a sunrise. It glows without effort, warms without burning, and illuminates without needing to shine for attention. This is what real light feels like: steady, soft, unshakable. It doesn't need to impress, it just is. And as you live in this state, you realize how few things truly matter. What used to feel urgent now feels irrelevant. What used to feel bright now feels blinding. You begin to move only when you feel guided, not tempted. This is mastery, living by energy, not by appearance. You no longer measure light by how much it shines, but by how much peace it brings. False light will still try to return, but its illusion no longer holds shape. It will approach you with offers, promises, and familiar patterns. But your awareness has become armor. You feel its vibration before it speaks. You know the texture of truth too well to be fooled again. The traps that once captured your focus now fade like mirages when you step closer. What once drew you now dissolves in your clarity. The world will continue to test you with light, but you are no longer seeking it, you have become it. You carry your illumination within, and that is why imitation light cannot touch you anymore. You have learned that the truest light burns quietly inside you, and it does not need validation, applause, or reflection. It simply exists, anchored in truth. You were once drawn to brightness, but now you see that true light is not meant to blind. It is meant to reveal. And through this revelation, you understand your calling, to walk as the light that exposes illusion simply by existing. You are not here to chase what glows. You are here to remind others what is real. When awareness turns into wisdom, you no longer see the world as a battlefield between light and darkness. You see it as a landscape of choices. The traps are still there, but they no longer frighten you. You have learned that deception only works on the eyes that crave spectacle. The false lights of this world are loud, urgent, and unstable. They burn hot and vanish quickly. But your light, the one you built through pain and patience, is steady. It burns in silence, untouched by imitation. You no longer need to chase the glow outside because the real illumination now burns from within. You begin to notice that this inner light is not fragile. It doesn't dim when you are tired, nor does it vanish when the world feels heavy. It lives quietly beneath every thought, waiting to be remembered. When life tries to overwhelm you with distraction or disappointment, this light whispers, "You've seen this before." You remember the false glows that once lured you, the people who said the right things but carried wrong energy, the opportunities that looked golden but hollowed your peace, the moments that sparkled with excitement only to end in exhaustion. You survived those illusions, and because of that, you now recognize truth, not by sight, but by peace. Peace has become your filter. Nothing enters your life unless it aligns with that frequency. You no longer rush toward opportunities that shine. You wait for the ones that resonate. You no longer beg for doors to open. You walk calmly until the right one does. You no longer confuse recognition with purpose or noise with meaning. The false lights have lost their power because they can no longer tempt you with emptiness disguised as importance. You understand now, anything that costs your peace is too expensive. This understanding changes how you move. You don't respond to every invitation, don't entertain every offer, don't chase every glow. You've realized that real purpose doesn't demand attention. It attracts alignment. Your steps have slowed, but they are heavier with meaning. You walk with intention now, not curiosity. You observe everything, but attach to nothing. This is freedom, the kind the world cannot imitate, but this freedom comes with responsibility. Once you learn to see through illusion, you become a light that others will look to. People who are still trapped by false brightness will be drawn to you, searching for clarity, for grounding. And though you will want to save everyone, you will understand that true light does not rescue, it reminds. You will not pull others out of illusion by force, but by reflection. Your peace will become their mirror, your calm will reveal their chaos. Your presence will expose what is false, not through judgment, but through truth. That is the power of quiet radiance. It teaches without speaking. As you walk this path, you will encounter new traps, subtler ones, the temptation to prove yourself, the pressure to maintain your image of strength, the illusion that awareness makes you invincible.